All right, what's up, guys? Here, dude. Listen up. I got Cody Sperber in the house. What's up, bud?
What's up, baby?
Dude, glad to have you here, dude.
I'm ready to do this.
Listen, if you've seen this animal online, dude, this guy knows how to party and have fun. I'll never forget watching one of your first videos, and you're like, I went 5 years before I ever bought a luxury anything. And I'm like, dude, that was like me, except I was 4.5 years. I caved after 4.5 years, and then
I saw your whip. The doors go up.
Right?
I get how you're rolling.
All right, so guys, listen up. Cody's the man here, guys. When it comes to this game of flipping, whether you're talking wholesaling or actually like hands-on rehabbing, listen, I can't think of anyone better that I can bring on the channel that can really dive in on this. And so here's the reality. So many people have requested this video, and so here's what we're gonna do.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
We're gonna keep this video short. School's in session, so dude, pen and paper, you're gonna wanna go. But for any of you that are like, man, you're going too fast, I need more, slow it on down. There's a link below, and I asked Cody to actually put a webinar together with him and one of his buddies where they're crushing it in the game, and you can get more information there. But with that, with the time we got, man, dude, I want to lay down like the law here on the 5 steps. How do you really get in the game, and how do you really make it happen?
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a great video just because when I first started real estate investing, I leaned in on wholesaling, right?
Yeah.
Because there was risk-free. I didn't have any money when I was starting. And I needed to create the money so I can go and do the rehabs because these are the bigger paydays.
Yes.
This is where you really can magnify your results. And for me, I kind of take the mindset of like, I'm a marketer in the real estate space that wants to generate as many leads as possible, and I don't want to leave any lead behind. Yeah. So as I'm doing my wholesale deals, every once in a while, cherry pick out the best one, run a rehab on it, and get the big payday.
So now pause. I want to help you guys understand this. When we say wholesaling, we're talking about rehabbing. We're talking about flipping, but different. One is flipping paper, and you can get paid $2 grand, $5 grand, maybe 10 grand for finding a good deal and pawning it off so you get out of the deal, and you can make some quick money that way.
Ugh.
But dude, the other side is you say, hey, but if I actually find that good of a deal, and I actually throw some money in this and get on the rehab, I'm not making 5, 7, 10 grand. I might make 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand. Dude, what's the most you ever made on it? Come on, keep it real fresh with us. Dude.
All right, the most I ever made, and this isn't typical by any means. It only happened to me one time, and it was a.
That's okay. I want to hear it.
I bought the house for like $550,000, and I rebuilt the whole entire thing. We sold it for a little over $3 million. So it was a massive renovation, and I made a little over $1 million.
Dude.
It was a game changer.
Dude, that's crazy. That's a big freaking.
But I'm telling you right now, my average one is probably like 40K.
Right. Okay.
And I got 10, 12 going at any one time. So we're rolling through them. And I got a whole machine and system But you know,
right.
hey,
Well, cool.
no stress, so
right? Guys, check it out. So we're not talking about flipping paper wholesaling. Right now, we're actually saying, hey, when you find that deal that has the bigger money into it, how do you lay that down? And when we were kind of talking about this before Cody got on the plane, he's like, Kris, honestly, it's best if I break it down in 5 steps. These are the 5 steps that I do when I take down every one of my deals, no emotion. So
I'm just gonna commandeer the old
it's yours, dude.
Marker here. So first off, the first step is probably the most important step because you have to have a plan, right? You got to know what type of rehab you're going to do. There's different types of rehab, and there's different types of properties you can rehab. So, you know, I recommend leaning in on single-family houses, right?
Check.
Especially in today's market, I would work in those working-class neighborhoods, right?
So working class, so you're talking about maybe like 150, 200, just kind of like in that range?
Yeah, so like one of the things I always think about when I'm doing research before I buy, I'm always looking at it and saying, how fast are properties selling in this area?
Right.
The days on market. If the days on market are low, that's a good sign because you want to be able to buy it, renovate it, and then get it going and get paid. Yeah. So you got to have a plan. What type of properties you're going to renovate, right?
This is something that I love about this guy because you know that I play in that single family safe zone. So my guess is if you're buying 150, 200, you probably making sure you're always walking in with maybe 100,000 or more of equity so you can put the money in and have a margin to grab your 40 out when you're done.
That's exactly it. Minimum 10% return after everything else gets paid out. Minimum 10. I get more than that typically, but a minimum of 10. The other part of the plan is making sure you understand what's going on in that particular market so that way you don't over rehab. This isn't an emotional thing. This is a very by the numbers, non-emotional decision. And what I see a lot of people do is they get excited. It's their first rehab. So
Act like they're going to live in that thing and say, this is my house. I'm like,
yeah.
That doesn't mean you need granite in this thing. No other comps in the market at granite. Don't put granite in there. You won't recover that money.
Yep. And speaking of money, let's roll right into the next thing that you want to kind of get organized, and that's your financing.
I'm sure that, dude, if you find a really hot deal, you got to find a way to take that down fast. You got to probably have a way to are you like buying these homes cash so you can secure the good deal? You going to the banks?
Almost every one of my deals is paid for using private lenders.
Gotcha.
So I started off wholesaling.
Does private lending mean cash?
Yes, it's cash.
But
it's
not
just
bank.
It's just not mine.
Deep pocket private individuals that are like, I'll support that because they're going to earn money on their money out.
Yes, and I'm sourcing good deals that in a good deal will either sell itself or help you raise the money. They're not really lending me money when I go to borrow money from a private lender. They're investing in a great opportunity.
Gotcha.
So I go hunt down those good opportunities. You got to get your financing together. So sometimes I take 100% of my private lender money and I just buy the property.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I take my private lender money and we work out a little bit better of a return for them. I put them in a second lien position.
Gotcha.
And I go and get a hard money loan.
Yes.
If the deal's really good and really juicy, I can do that kind of financing structure, and I can take $100,000 from a private money lender and buy 4 properties with it now versus 1.
Wow, gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and dude, I just want to drop this and see if you agree. If you find a really good deal, the money's out there.
Oh.
If it's a good deal, the money's out there. I know some people watch this are like, how would I meet someone that has money that could buy something cash and back me? I'm like, listen, get out in the game, put your field skis out there, and the people out there, if you have a good deal, the money's always available. Just get out there on social media and start networking. Go to those real estate research groups. You're going to find the people popping up.
And for me, my first private lender came by accident. I was just talking to somebody about what I'm passionate about, which is real estate.
Gotcha.
And he's like, oh, you should talk to my dad.
Yeah.
My dad likes to invest in stuff like that. Before you know it, just a little side story, his dad actually was a Wall Street guy that helped merge the RG Reynolds Nabisco merger back in the 80s. And he had more money than he knew what to do with. And I didn't even know my buddy was a trust fund guy. We don't talk about that stuff. And so talk about what you're passionate about, and you never know. And there's different financing types. Get familiar with what they are.
Yeah.
Be smart about it.
Awesome.
All right, moving on.
Number 3. Dude, guys, by the way, I really wish we could slow this down because I hope you're getting it's like there's a lot of good stuff here. That's why I had them record the 70-minute lengthy version. It's in the link below. You just sign up for the webinar, and they're actually going to get you the deeper, detailed information. But I want to go this fast because I want to make sure that we can get you what's needed.
That's right. And this is the golden rule. Buy it right? You have to source good deals and you have to buy the properties right. We make money in real estate when we buy,
Not when we sell.
Not when we sell, and it's never more true and more important than when you're renovating a house.
Yeah.
Right? There's kind of a rule that I can share with you that makes it kind of easy if you're new. It's basically take the ARV, which stands for after repaired value, the value that the property would be worth if it was fully renovated and sold on the open market, and just take off 30%. Right? Just right out of the gate. Just like basically it's like the 70% rule. Okay. That's a good general rule of thumb when you're first starting out.
So you're saying, here's this house, it's worth $300,000. I take off my 30%, that drops it down to 200. And if I get it for 200,
you're in the ballpark now.
Now if the repairs are reasonable,
yes.
Because I know I got to pay my realtor fees and I got to pay on my money that I borrowed, but there should be something left over unless you're doing like insane rehab, like I have to cut the property in half and bulldoze it and rebuild it.
Yeah, and your first few ones, part of your plan might be, hey, I don't want to do a massive renovation. I don't want to add an addition. I want to do a lipstick on a pig, right? Yes. And just paint and carpet, make it smell good, and move the property, right? Those are some of my favorite renovations because you're in and out so fast. But
true.
All right, so you want to buy it right. So that means you have to have your financing lined up so you're not getting screwed here. This is where a lot of people, they get stuck in bad financing. They make all these assumptions like the property's going to sell quickly and then it doesn't, but they're stuck in a hard money loan.
Dude, I don't know why, but real estate attracts optimists. So everyone goes to the most aggressive number. It's probably worth this. It'll probably only take this long. It'll probably only cost that. And it's like, actually, you paid more for that. You held the money longer and you did way more rehab than you wanted. This is one of those areas where I'm a crazy optimist, guys. But when it comes to finance and real estate, I'm a realist, which means I don't want to be swayed this way or that way. I also don't want to be the negative guy. I want to seek in time to become dead on the mark.
Boom. I like it. All right, number 4, we all want to be bosses. Let's rehab like a boss. And what does that mean? You have to understand how to go out and hire good team members. Because
Yes.
I believe that my job as a real estate investor is to bring in the money, source good deals, and then put the team together and manage the team. Now, some people out there might be like, I like to hang cabinets. I'm a tinkerer. I like to work on things. Really try to focus on your highest and best use and return on your time. And
AKA, don't. Like, seriously.
that's my nice way of saying
If
just
if you go to Home Depot, like, every day, I forgot the nails, I forgot the screws, today we're getting the lighting fixtures. I'm like, dude, you can go from putting 10 hours in for just being the deal, like for putting it together, to 300 hours because you're also now the rehabber. That's not rehabbing like a boss, that's rehabbing like a fool.
Yeah, and there's lots of steps in the rehab process, right? There's a lot of moving pieces. That's why we put the training together, because so that way we could take the time and go in on like, how do we source materials? Who are all the players? What is the flow of the actual process of rehabbing? So that way I know I got to bring this person in, and then this next person comes right behind them, and it's like a train moving down the track, like a profit train, right?
Okay.
Moving, I don't know. I'm working with it. Going down the track, and if you get it down right, that's where you can start scaling your business, doing multiple rehabs at one time. My crews literally move from project to project. It's like an efficient, well-oiled machine, and that's rehabbing like a boss.
Guys, I gotta tell you, we do hundreds of flips every year and going into markets and finding the best deals and getting them rehabbed. You know, my thing is I'm not flipping for profit. I'm running an efficient flipping model for actually make as much money as I can as ROI, because I'm gonna hold on to my homes. I love holding property. It's just one of my favorite things to do. And I gotta tell you, this whole thing like a boss, what he's telling you, what he's teaching you, you better be taking notes on it, because school's in session from an expert and he knows what he's talking about. Okay, 5th and final step.
This is the staging and sales stage of a rehab, and people ask me, do I have to stage my properties? Yes, unless it's like the lipstick on a pig.
Are you talking about staging as in like bringing furniture in and making it feel like a home?
Yes, because here's the thing that you got to understand. You want your houses to sell quickly, right? Especially if you have financing on it and you just want to turn and burn and keep deal flow going. And so for me, I tried selling a bunch of deals without staging. Here's what you find. People focus on the weirdest stuff.
Yeah.
They walk in and they'll find like the things that you would never think that they would zero in on, which totally take away their attention.
So you're shifting the focus by getting that thing staged.
Yeah, it gives them that instant like visualization of like, I know where I'm going to sit at night. I know what it's going to be like to be in the kitchen with my kids playing in the other room, and like the kitchens, the bathrooms. Those are the 2 main rooms in a house that you really want to nail down and get done right.
Can I just ask you, from your experience, how much quicker do you accelerate the selling process by staging?
I would probably say 50 to 60%. In fact, it pays for itself so much that I actually went out and I bought all my own staging furniture now.
Really?
I'm doing this on a scale, but after staging 20 houses, I'm like, I could just own a couple couches and linens and candles and knickknacks and books, and I don't fully stage, meaning like, and by the way, staging could be anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 on these types of houses. So we're not talking about a ton of money, but the impact is huge. And ultimately we want to sell, and we want to sell quickly.
It's about time, right? It's about compressing that time and getting your money in and out as fast as you can.
That's it.
Wow. Dude, guys, so first of all, Cody, dude, boom, right there, the 5 steps you taught. That was awesome. I appreciate that. For those of you that are like, too much information over my head, click the link below. That's why I asked him to prepare the lengthy video. And I'm telling you right now, it's worth it, because you didn't shoot that alone. You actually have partnered up in Atlanta with
Ken and Anita Corsini.
So those guys are on TV with that freaking awesome Flip That show house.
Yep, Flip or Flop Atlanta. So what I did, I'm a student of success, just like you guys, right? Like, you guys are smart for following Kris, because you want to learn from people that are already playing the game at the highest level so you can get there faster.
Yeah.
Well, even though I've done over 1,000 flips, I still travel all over. I hire lots of consultants. I'm like a big believer of cutting a check to solve a problem and go further.
Yes.
So I flew to Atlanta to my friends Ken and Anita Corsini's operation. I brought my video crews with us, drones with us, And we just had such a blast
wow,
documenting everything that they were doing because they play the game at a really high level.
Right.
And I learned so much about all this stuff. And they're going to be in the training class with me for 70 minutes, just
Dude, that's
power-packed,
awesome, dude.
intense.
Dude, that's powerful that you got them. So guys, check it out. Listen, I hope this has been useful for you. We wanted to talk about how you really play the flipping level and learn from someone who's very masterful at it. You know, Cody's laid out the steps here. Your next step is to actually go to the link right now below. And I want you to click the link. I want you to register for that webinar. I want you to get that additional 70 minutes of training if you're hot on this topic. And other than that, I just want to tell you that my buddy Cody, he's got his own YouTube channel. So we're going to provide that link. I want you to go follow him and check it out. I love what he's doing. I love what he's up to. Dude, the man is a stud. I'm going to have him out a couple more times. We're going to do a couple more videos. But dude, thanks for showing up today. Thanks for being here. And thank you for imparting your wisdom and your knowledge for all of us here.
You got it anytime.
Okay, guys, it's time for you to go and make it happen.